everyone, Alison here at Keithley Healthy Living with our next Movement Matters program. Today we are going to be doing some chair exercise. All the movements we're going to do today are going to be from the chair. So obviously you will need a chair before we start. Plenty of space around you. Please forgive me if the video cuts off. It took me a few minutes to connect today with just a few technical hiccups. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it's all going to be okay this afternoon. So please let me know that you're joining me by liking the page or commenting in the box. As we said, you will need plenty of space around you, a chair for your exercise today, and you need to be feeling fit and well before you participate, free from any illness or injury. So without further ado, I'm going to move over onto my chair and we'll start today's exercise. We're going to start with our warm-up. I'll just adjust the camera slightly so you can see the bottom of the chair and you'll be able to see my feet. Okay then, so starting from our chair, and we're just going to have our feet nicely placed on the floor. Ideally, we should be in a position where we've got 90 degrees, a right angle going from our heels to our thighs and from our thighs to our back, so keeping that back nice and tall. We're going to just start off with a little knee lift, so I'm lifting the knee and lowering the knee. Back tall, tummy in nice and tight, hips facing forwards. Lifting and lowering. Shoulders nice and relaxed, tummy in tight. And then we're just going to go over to the other side and we're just lifting and lowering. And then we're going to shoulder shrug the shoulder. So we're just warming up those joints. And then we're just going to circle that shoulder. So just taking it round. We're going to just do 4 backwards and then 4 forwards. And then over to the other side. Just shrugging that shoulder to start with. Back nice and tall. Tummy in. Heels nicely on the floor. And then we're just going to circle it 4 backwards and 4 forwards. And from here, we're just going to march through with our feet. Working through those legs, we're trying to get ourselves warmed up a little bit, get the blood pumping through the body. And then I'm just going to push forwards and flex the heels forwards as I do that. Pushing forwards. Nice and relaxed. 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax it there. With my head, I'm just going to look to the right and center, left and center, right, center, left, center. Head looking up and down, glancing up and looking down. 2 more. And last one. And then we're just going to march those feet through again, keeping those knees moving. Do let me know where you're joining me today from. Now let me know the location. Let me know how you find the exercises. It's always good to hear from you. So we're going to flex the foot and curl it back in. Flex the foot and bring it back in. Last one, and then over to the other side. We're just flexing that foot and bringing it back in. So the hamstrings are getting a nice little workout there, warming up those hamstrings. And then we're just going to do a heel and toe with the foot. Heel and toe. You can combine a little bicep curl as well with that. 2 more. Last one. Other side, heel and toe. So heel to the floor, tip of the toe to the floor. And again, if you want to combine a bicep curl with that, you can combine a bicep curl with that. Marching through. We should be getting all warmed up now, hopefully. And then we're going to just push forwards with those feet push it through. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Hands in front, and we're going to turn to the right and center, left and center. Hips facing forwards, back tall, shoulders nice and relaxed. Turning from the waist. Side and center. One more each side. And then from here, we're just going to relax the hands down and we're going to lean to the side. Just the upper body moving. So the hips stay facing forwards. And we're bending from the waist. Nice, gentle movements. So imagining that we've dropped something on the floor and we're just leaning to pick it up. So the exercises that I'm going to do for you today, we're not having any equipment today. It's all things that you can do just from your armchair. Okay, the only equipment you need is the chair that you're sat on. So 2 more. And last one. I'm going to focus very much on the arms and legs today. We will put a little bit of core exercise in towards the end, but it's mainly arms and legs that we're going to do today. So we're going to start off with the hamstrings, okay? The muscle that runs at the back of the leg, quite often prone to tightness and muscle soreness. So we're just going to flex the foot and we're going to curl it back. Flex the foot and curl it back. So when I'm opening out that, I'm not quite straightening in and not quite bending the full way. I'm just taking it through a range of movements. I'm just working those muscles in the back of that hamstring. So curling up and bringing it in. So can we feel it down the back of the leg? Okay. Flex and curl. Flex and curl. Let's do 2 more this side. And then we're going to change to the other side. So we're just flexing, curling. So all these exercises or movements that we're going to do today are movements that you can do when you're just sat at home watching the television. Or if you sat waiting for somewhere, you can just sit and do these exercises as part of your daily life. 2 more. And last one, resting it there. Okay, from here, what we're going to do is we're going to do that same exercise again, but we're going to bring some foot movement into it. So we're going to flex it, point and flex, and bring it back in. So we're using the hamstring and the muscles in the ankle joint. So we're going to flex, point, flex, return. Flex, point, flex, return. Flex, point, flex, return. I'm not using any equipment today, but if you had an exercise band, you could also do this exercise with an exercise band. 2 more. And last one. Point, flex, return. Let's do the same on the other side. So flex, point, flex, return. Flex, point, flex, return. So that's working through the muscles in the hamstring and the muscles in the lower leg, ankle and calf. Nice and controlled. Point, flex, return. Also a bit of one for the coordination, this one too, isn't it? Flex, point, flex, return. Flex, point, flex, return. Last one. And rest there. Okay, we're going to do something else on the legs now. We're going to lift the knee in towards the chest. So this one we've done quite a few times before. So we're just going to lift it in. So we're working through the muscles on the thigh, muscles at the top of the thigh. I'll add a little crunch and just add a little bit of core exercise in there too. So crunch it in, crunch it in. 4, 3, 2, last one, rest there. Change to the other side. So lifting straight in and down. Just working through the muscles in the front of the thigh. Lifting and lowering. Works your hip flexors too, which is always good for you. For help you walking. And then we're just going to crunch in and involve the core as well. So crunch in and down. Last one. Okay. We're going to do the same exercise now, but this time we're going to push it in and push it out. So we're using the hamstrings as well. So we're leading with the heel. So take it in and push out. Take it in and push out. So we're going to crunch in and push out if we want to involve our upper body at the same time. So working through those arms and working through that core too. Crunch in, push out, crunch in, push out. Let's do 4 more this side. And last one. Rest there. Over to the other side. So we're going to crunch in, push out, crunch in, push out. If you want to rest your arms because you feel like you've done enough with your arms, that's fine. We're really focusing on the legs at this moment in time. Having the arm and core exercise involved in it is just an added bonus. Crunch in, push out, 4 more. 3, 2, 1, and relax there. Okay, moving on now, we're going to do something for the inner thighs and outer thighs. So I'm going to flex my foot and bring it forwards. I'm going to take the leg out to the side and bring it back in. So as my leg goes out, I'm working on the outer thigh. As it comes in, I'm working on the inner thigh. Take it out and bring it in. So with a combination of the different exercises today, we're aiming to have a full leg and arm workout. Remember, if it's uncomfortable, you don't have to do all the repetitions. You will feel a bit of discomfort when you start exercising, but you shouldn't be in agony. So just work to your own strength, your own ability, because each week as you build up, you'll find that you can do a little bit more. 2 more. Last one. Relax there. Over to the other side, flexing the foot. And don't forget, if you have any questions that you'd like to ask me, you can type in the box and I'll always try my best to answer the questions. And you can watch this back and try these exercises again at another time if you like. Flex and bring it in, outer thigh on the way out, inner thigh on the way in. Still keeping those hips facing forwards. Let's do 2 more this side. Last one. Relax it there. Okay, how are we feeling? Hope we're feeling okay. Okay, thinking about those inner thighs again now, we're going to think about taking them out and then squeezing them in. And with this, as well as the inner thighs, we're working the pelvic floor. We have done this one previous weeks with a block. So if you've got a block handy and you want to use it, that's fine. Today I'm doing it without because I'm thinking about my inner thighs as well as my pelvic floor, and I really want full range of movement for those inner thighs today. So I'm going to squeeze together and release. Squeeze together and release. So as I'm doing that, I'm thinking about lifting up through the pelvic floor. Particularly good for anybody that has incontinence issues. Particularly good for women after childbirth and men with any prostate issues. So it is a very good exercise to do is this one. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. We're going to do 2 more and then we're going to hold it. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Release. Take 4 little squeezes in and then we'll squeeze and hold again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Squeeze and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Release. 4 more squeezes. Last squeeze and hold. Squeeze. 2, 3, 4. Squeeze and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And release. I hope you held the exercise and not your breath. Try not to hold your breath on that one. If you feel that you are holding your breath, try and count out loud with me, because that really helps. Okay then. I don't know about you, but after those exercises, I feel quite warm. So if you need a drink, grab a drink of water preferably, and then we're going to move on and do a little bit of arm exercises. So we're going to just start with a simple bicep curl. So I'm thinking about my palm facing upwards, and I'm going to clasp it into a fist, and I'm just going to bring it up to the shoulder and back down. If you got hand weights at home and you want to use hand weights, you can. Or you could be creative, use a water bottle or a tin of beans, or whatever you've got that would act as a weight for you lifting up. Hips are facing forwards and back is nice and tall. 2 more here. And then we're relaxing that down. Over to the other side, same exercise. So palm facing upwards. And we're going to clasp that fist and lift it and lower it. So I'm working through the muscle in the bicep, this muscle here, to make it nice and strong. Back tall, tummy in nice and tight. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax it there. We're going to do the exact opposite of that exercise now. We're going to work the muscle here on the back of the arm, the tricep. So I'm going to start off with the arm bent, and I'm going to straighten it backwards. So the actual hard part of the exercise is when my hand goes back. So I'm going straighten back and bring it forwards, back and bring it forwards, and I'm squeezing it back as I do that. So imagine that I'm pushing back. So this time the fist is facing the side, back and bring it forwards. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax it there. Let's do the same over on the other side. So holding that fist, taking it back and bringing it forwards. Hips facing forwards and back tall. Push it back, squeeze it as it goes back. Try not to lock your arm out so it's not completely bent as you bring it forwards. Squeeze and back. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax it there. Just going to shake those arms after that. Okay, the next one we're going to do is for the top of the arm. I'm going to have one hand down by my side and the other hand I'm going to take out to the side. Before you start this exercise, check that you're not going to bang into anything. Okay, so I've just checked both sides. I've got nothing to bang into. I have almost banged into this wall before now, so that's why I'm saying that. Toes pointing forwards. Think of your body at right angles again, so you've got a nice stable base to work from. So I'm just going to lift that out to shoulder height and then back in again. Out and back in again. Again, the palm is facing downwards, so the fist is facing downwards, and we're lifting out to the side. And then working with that exercise, I'm going to just do 2 out to the side and 2 back in. So we're working with gravity now, which makes it a lot harder. If that becomes too hard, you can reduce the speed down, because as we work through gravity, the gravity acts like a weight, so it does make it harder. Out for 2, in for 2, 2 more, last one. Switch to the other side. So I'm going to take it out and bring it in. Hips facing forward, so we're just straight up and down to start with. Nice and controlled. Out to shoulder height and back down again. Controlling that movement. 2 more. And then we're going to slow it right down. So we're going out for 2, in for 2. Again, with these ones, if you want to use hand weights to do them at home, you can do. And back for 2. Keep going. out for 2, and back for 2, out for 2. You might notice you've got one arm that's stronger than the other. I think this is my stronger arm this side. And last one, release it there. So we should have felt that just at the top of the arms there. Yeah, good for helping you carrying bags back if you like shopping. Okay. Also good for if you've got a lever to pull, or if you're pulling your lawnmower. Nice toned arms, ready for doing that. Okay, then we're going to go on to doing the muscles in the front of the chest as well as the arms now. So I'm going to take my arms out to shoulder height. Okay, and what I'm going to do is bring them together. So while I'm doing this exercise, I'm going to just wiggle my toes to make sure that the blood flow goes through my body and that I'm not restricting the blood flow just to my arms. So elbows together and back. So keep moving those feet, especially if you're suffering with any blood pressure issues or heart conditions. Keep moving those feet to keep that circulation going through. Taking it in and taking it out, moving those elbows together and back out again. I'm going to speed that up a little bit now. And as I speed up, I'm actually going to bring my knees into the exercise as well. Okay, so I'm going to bring it in and down, 2 and down, 3. Keep going. And last one, hold it here. From here, still keeping the knees in the exercise, I'm just going to pull the elbows down, and I can really feel that on the top of my arms now. 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. Give the arms a little shake because that was quite a tough exercise, that one. Okay, one last one for the arms. We're going to take one hand out to the front and one hand out to the side, and I'm going to tap my toes as I do this. I'm circling round with the wrists. And then I'm going to switch sides and do the same again. Still tapping the toes. Now I'm going to do 4 each side because I did 8 each side there. So I'm going to do 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. Again. 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 each side. 2 each side again. And singles. 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Did you feel that in your upper arms? Really good one for mobilizing the wrists and also working through those upper arms. Quite a tough one though, so we'll just quickly stretch those arms out before we do our final exercises. So hand in front, hold between the joints and just look over your shoulder to give it a nice little stretch through. We will stretch again at the end, but it just helps that ache if I stretch now. So hand between and look over your shoulder. And release there. Okay, we're just going to do a couple of exercises to work that core, and then we'll have a nice stretch out. So what I'm going to do is going to take the hands across my chest, and using my back and my tummy, I'm going to use them to take me back. So making sure the feet are flat on the floor for this one to again act as your support. So you're going to go back for 2 and up for 2. Keeping that head in line with the spine. It's a nice controlled exercise. Back for 2 and up for 2. Back for 2, up for 2. Tummy in nice and tight. Use those tummy muscles to lift you, working through the core. And the tummy muscles support the back. And the back supports the tummy muscles. So we're working through the lower back and through the tummy muscles. Rest it there. Okay, we're going to take one hand in front, and with the other hand we're going to lift it up and thread it under. So we're working in the sides of the body through the sides of the core. So up, thread under. Up, thread under. Four more here. And last one. Relax there, over to the other side, up and thread under. Hand forwards, back tall, tummy nice and tight. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax there. Let's cross the hands over the chest one more time. We'll take that body back and then up for 2 again. Back for 2, up for 2. Back for 2, up for 2. Nice and controlled, using those tummy muscles. Then we're going to go back for 3 and then up for 1 this time. So going back, 2, 3, up 1. Back, 2, 3, up 1. Twice more. And last 1, 2, 3, up 1, and relax. Well done. That wasn't the easiest workout today. I hope you felt like you'd worked your arms and your legs and a little bit of core as well to help with all those aching joints. Remember, it is natural to feel a bit of muscle soreness when you start using the different muscles. Perfectly normal. Perfectly normal. As I said before, as you keep doing the exercises over the weeks, your mobility and your strength build up and it becomes easier and hopefully get less muscle soreness. Okay, so what we're going to do now is the most important bit, and that's to stretch out the muscles that we've worked to prevent that soreness tomorrow. So okay, so we're going to start off by just taking the right hand and placing it between the shoulder blades. With the other hand, we're going to either place it over the top or push from the front. And we're getting a nice stretch here in the upper arm, which we've definitely worked those upper arms today. So we'll give it a nice stretch through, and then that'll help to ease some of that soreness. Always stretch when your muscles are warm. Release it there. Hand between the joints and either over the top or pushing from the front. So yeah, the ideal time is after you've done your workout to stretch those nice warm muscles to help with your flexibility. And release there. We're going to place that hand now onto the side of the head, and with the other hand we're going to just straighten it out to the side. Then I'm just going to lean my neck slightly, careful not to pull on the neck, leaning the head so we get a lovely stretch all along the neckline and through the arm. Do exactly the same over on the other side. Hand to the side of the head and reach out, stretching through that neckline. And then this hand that's out to the side, that one we're going to bring it in front and show me the palm. Hold between the joints and look over your shoulder. So you can either hold it here between the elbow and the wrist, or here between the elbow and the shoulder, but not on the joint. Should be a nice straight arm, and we're looking in the opposite direction. Release there. Same on the other side. Hand up, hold between the joints, look over your shoulder. And release down. We'll stretch the front of the chest now. So we're going to place the hands in the small of the back and press the chest forwards. Feel that lovely stretch across the front of the chest. And then we're going to just bring those arms forward and push away to stretch through the upper back. Lift those arms up now so that overhead or just in front. Wiggle the toes as you do this, and we're just going to stretch through the muscles in the tummy. Take one hand down to the side and reach across towards the corner of the room, feeling a lovely stretch in the side of the body here. Release it there, and we're going to do the same over on the other side. So lifting up and taking it across. Wiggling those toes as we do that. so that blood flow continues around our body. And release there. Okay, let's just roll those shoulders back. We're going to bring the right knee in towards the chest. Hold it here, and let's have a little circle of the feet. Working through the mobility in those ankles and back the other way. And then we're going to take that foot forwards. And we did this at the very beginning. Point and flex, point and flex, point and flex, point and hold, stretching through the front of the leg. And then we're just going to flex, heel back, feeling that stretch through the hamstring. If you prefer to place it on the floor and reach the toes, that's fine. Choose the one that works for you the best. Lifting that heel up now, we're going to place it on the calf. Feel the stretch through the outer thigh. Leave it there if you're quite happy with it. If you want to lift it a little bit higher to get the stretch, you can lift it a bit higher up the leg. Further still, you can place it on top of the knee and bring the body weight forwards, feeling a stretch through the outer thigh. From this position, we're going to take the knee over the other leg. Take the opposite hand to knee and look over your shoulder. If you want to increase it, you can go to elbow to knee. If you are struggling to get your leg, the top leg onto the knee, you can just cross it here and twist to that side, turn to that side. Any brittle bone issues, try not to twist too far. Relaxing it there, we're going to switch the other way, so we're looking over that other shoulder, same knee and elbow together. And again, you're choosing your position, so either keeping it across the knee or just underneath the knee. And relax there. Let's take that knee out to the side now, and then we're just going to take our body weight forwards onto the knee so we feel a nice stretch in the inner thigh. Bring the feet back together and take the other leg out to the side, hands on the bent leg, leaning forward, feeling that stretch through the inner thigh. Bring that leg into the center and lift the knee off the floor. We're just going to circle round with the toes once more, as we did on the other side. And back round again. From here, I'm going to point the toe forwards. And as we did on the other leg, we're going to just point and flex, point and flex, point and flex and point and hold there, feeling the lovely stretch down through the front of the leg. Then flexing the foot, pushing the heel forwards, feeling that lovely stretch through the back of the hamstring. If you prefer, you can place the foot on the floor and reach towards the toes. From this position, slide the heel onto the calf. You can leave it there on the calf, feeling the stretch through the outer thigh. If you want to increase it, lift it a little higher. Harder still is to place the heel onto the thigh, leaning forward, feeling that stretch along that thigh. From the position that you're in, you're going to take the knee across the other leg. So it might be on top of the leg or it might be just underneath. And then you're going to turn your body so that you've got the same knee and elbow together, looking over your opposite shoulder. You might prefer to use your hand. So you're looking over the opposite shoulder to the knee. And then we're going to turn slightly so you've got the same knee and elbow together, opening out the chest, feeling the stretch in the sides of your body. Or you might prefer to have the leg underneath the knee. And relax it there. Bring your body back to the center. Placing the hands on the thighs, we're just going to pull the tummy in and round your lower back. So we get a really lovely stretch here in the lower back, pulling that tummy in, arching it like a cat. And then finally, we're just going to take a nice big reach up with a deep breath. and release those arms down. Again, reach it up and release the arms down. One more. And release it down. Give those hands a shake and give those legs a shake and give yourself a well-deserved clap. I thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. I hope you enjoyed the workout. Don't forget, once more, you can watch it back whenever you like, because this video will be left on here for you to watch on demand in your own time. There are also further videos on our Movement Matters films on the Rethinking Pain website, on the Keithley Healthy Living and Rethinking Pain YouTube channels. And if you live in the Bradford or Craven district area and you want to be referred into the Rethinking Pain community-based programme, you can ask your GP to make the referral for you. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed our session, and I hope to see you again next Wednesday afternoon. Take care. Bye.